We just arrived driving down from Salt Lake. We were dealing with weather showers on and off with heavy rain at times. And you can see there's a lot going on here. We've got crews behind us, plenty of bulldozers, a crane moving mud out of the way. And just come with me here a little bit. The caution tape here, do not cross down. Plenty of people are around watching as we're still missing 5 people at this point. The urgency can definitely be felt as everybody's gathering, watching what's going on as crews continue to clear the area. It seems as though, as I'm just getting information from Tasmin, from the ground, that this is going to be going on for quite some time. But what you will see, not just here, throughout all of Hildale and Colorado City, this dozer, this is what's happening on all of the roads. This is not the only area that was washed out with mud. We're seeing mud up to car doors, the driver's side about halfway up. Here, I can even show you on our Good for Utah car. Come with me. This is what you're seeing all through Hildale because people are driving around and there is plenty of destruction out there.
It's a sad day in this polygamist community. This is where the cars that were swept away were parked. I'm told that they were blocked by flowing water in front of them. Witnesses tell me they got out to assess the situation, but while they were surveying what was in front of them, they likely never suspected that water would come barreling down behind them. As far as witnesses, they tell me that the water rose very quickly and it was filled with a tremendous amount of debris. Weather-complicated rescue and recovery missions. It was a cold and rainy night, and showers throughout the day have made it tough for crews. The cars are now mangled metal along the bank of Short Creek. In total, 16 people were swept away. 3 survived. Crews have recovered 12 bodies right now, but the search continues for that final missing child. And rescue crews say it's not easy.
And when you look at the debris field here, I mean, some places 10 to 20 feet high, the sand and debris, and the latest victims were found 5 miles away from this area. So you just do the math there, and the area that we're searching through, and again, it's hand searching, is just really overwhelming.
The lieutenant governor saying it was so important to come down here today and lend support. Now, there's been no official confirmation of the identity of the victims. We know the families, but at this point, they are not officially releasing that. Don?
Well, Lana, I know you've been down there all day, and I know you just said the mangled metal. You saw those vehicles, what was left of those vehicles. But help us, those of us who are just watching on TV, when you were up there, I mean, the sense that you got there, the feeling you got, what you really saw, what you were really thinking when you saw that.
Don, it was heartbreaking. It's a tragedy no matter how you slice it. When you walk down to the bank and you see what's left of these 2 cars, I mean, there's car parts in the mud, child car seats overturned in the sand. You can't help but get a little emotional. And it wasn't just us, you know, as community members continued to visit that spot throughout the day. They too were emotional, standing, looking, waiting, watching. A very sad situation. And many people have said today, especially crews, that they never expected the rescue and recovery to go into day 2. And here we are as the evening hits. We're still dealing with rain, and we're still not completely done with the recovery mission. So it's heartbreaking all around, no matter how you slice it.
And on that point, I mean, I'm actually, from this vantage point, seeing all that mud, I'm surprised they have been able to find all those bodies so quickly. Are you surprised by that?
You know, the mayor of Hildale touched on that a little bit. They had hundreds of volunteers come out to help. This entire community came, and they came with open arms, ready to go, and they have been working since last night. They started early this morning, so it's an all-hands-on-deck effort, and many people just wanting to get involved with that sense of community, going, yes, it's a small town. Obviously, they all know each other. People here want to reach out and be part of this with one another and lend support, and that's exactly what's happened. So, yes, a little surprised that they've done as well as they have, but they're saying 15 to 20 feet of mud that they were digging throughout the day, and Mother Nature just not helping the cause at all. Don?
And elsewhere, the same storm system that hit Hildale also hit Zion National Park basically at the same time, created a flash flood in the area known as Keyhole Canyon. Swallowed up 7 hikers. 6 have been found confirmed dead. The search for the last person in that group also continues tonight as well. Good for Utah's Alana Brophy there covering that story and has more.
This is a tunnel at the base of Keyhole Canyon where those people went missing. Search and rescue crews tell me when that flash flood hit, it would have moved through this area like a violent torrent. Several bodies were discovered south of this spot. Keyhole Canyon is only about 6 feet wide, and in some spots it gets down to 3. The group of 7 from Nevada and California were canyoneering the day of the storm. It rained over half an inch, and the water in the Virgin River rose from 55 CFS to over 2,600 CFS in only 15 minutes on Monday. Park rangers say it would have gone from a trickle to a wall in a matter of moments. Search crews recovered 6 of the 7 hikers since Monday, 2 of which were found today. Choppers were called in to airlift bodies from hard-to-reach locations. Rescue crews are turning their focus to the last missing hiker, searching through massive amounts of debris and mud. Park visitors say the loss of lives is devastating.
What they must have felt, seeing it coming and happening, would have been horrible.
It was pouring for like 30 minutes nonstop. We were soaked and wet for 30 minutes.
In the future, I'm going to be very leery of ever going through the Zion Narrows unless it's 100% safe and the water levels are low.
Canyoneering in Keyhole Canyon involves hiking, rappelling, and swimming. Rangers have not yet released the names of the victims. Just puddles here now, but flash flood potential is always a serious threat in these late summer months. Park rangers are warning, when in doubt, you need to get out. For now, reporting in Zion National Park, Alana Brophy, Good for Utah.
Just a short time ago, Good for Utah's Alana Brophy got an update. She's joining us now live from Colorado City with that update. Alana.
Glenn, Emily, I just stepped out of the news conference, a very somber tone as family members of the victims make a statement. Now, in that somber statement, they thanked everybody for the overwhelming support. The search today will continue with more than 200 volunteers and K-9 units. Also, in the news conference, both Sheldon Black and Joe Jessup referencing the UEP trust and eviction of their homes. I'm now live with the Washington County Sheriff Corey Pulsifer. Corey, they touched on this UEP trust. Tell me how that breaks down and what that has to do with eviction of people in this county.
Well, the trust basically involves this entire community of who owns the property, and it was all under a single trust that was run by the church. The courts came in and took over that trust per se and assigned a fiduciary that would then manage the trust. I believe that's through Bruce Wyson. As he tries to manage the properties as in the houses and things here, he tries to get occupancy agreements with some fees and things and put in place. Some of the people have been willing to do that, others have not. Those that have not, he's actually started a legal process. He's gone through the courts, giving the notices of eviction, and then finally, when it's all towards the end, it's gone to the courts. Court issues an eviction notice and it's sent through my office to do the eviction. It's no different than any of the other evictions that we do anywhere throughout the county, whether it's in St. George, Hurricane, or others. And so that's the process that we're involved in.
So both families referencing that today, saying that they were evicted. Thank you, Corey, for being here.
Just a side note, just as we were standing here, my phone just went off, just to let the viewers know. We've got a lot of tragedy that's going on in Washington County right now, not only with the incident here in this community, but also up in Zion's. Just received the text that they just located the last victim in Zion's. So I'm going to have to pull out and go and start down.
Totally understandable. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you for that breaking news. We were at Zion National Park yesterday. We knew the search was starting this morning when the sun came up, and it seems as though breaking news coming out of Zion National Park. The last body has been retrieved. I believe at last check it was a woman, and we will have more information on that. As far as the news conference goes for the Hildale community, take a listen to Sheldon Black and Joe Jessup weigh in on this search.
My name is Sheldon Black. These are my 2 boys. We know that God sees and knows all things. We trust in Him. We know our loved ones are safe in a heavenly home. We plan to hold private funeral services. Thank you.
My name is Joseph Jessup. This is my son, the only survivor for my family. And I thank you again, all, the press and everybody, for your kindness and sympathy. We feel your prayers, and we're very grateful.
absolutely heartbreaking to hear a family weigh in on the loss of siblings and wives. Just a difficult situation. We are going to stay on scene here in Hildale all day as the search continues. The Utah Division of Emergency Management is on scene with volunteers continuing to filter through this area. Debris is the biggest obstacle at this point. There are a lot of piles of debris, sand, mud, and standing water. The search will take a slow, methodical process for the next 24 hours. Once again, breaking news out of Zion National Park with the Washington County Sheriff standing by, breaking it on ABC4, telling us that the last victim has been found in the flash floods that ripped through that area. Just to recap, there 7 hikers were canyoneering in Keyhole Canyon. At this point, all bodies have been recovered. It has been a tragic couple of days here in southern Utah. We will, of course, bring you any updates as they become available. ABC4 and GoodForUtah.com will keep you posted as that news comes out of Zion National Park. For now, reporting live in Colorado City, Arizona, Alana Brophy, Good for Utah. The search for a missing 6-year-old boy in Colorado City has been a roller coaster ride. Search teams spent hours trying to open this collapsed culvert. No luck, but they say they're not giving up anytime soon.
We definitely are just like everyone else when it comes to mourning and deaths.
Kathy Stubbs grew up in Colorado City and says seeing all the hard work search teams and volunteers are putting in is greatly appreciated by the community.
We are a different culture that sometimes people have a hard time understanding. We're very kind and we love our families, and we're very grateful for people to come and help us.
It's day 3 of the search. Additional dog teams and members of the National Guard arrived.
Mother Nature is pretty relentless when it comes to flash floods, and these floodwaters can carry boulders, they can carry submerged lumber, and they can carry people quite a distance.
Recovery crews want to narrow in on finding the last victim of the flash flood, a 6-year-old boy. At a news conference, we got the first look at the 3 young survivors. The boys were swept away with their families. Their fathers read prepared statements.
We know our loved ones are safe in a heavenly home.
The statements also reference the UEP Trust and religious genocide on the FLDS because both men were recently evicted from their homes.
Allow us to live our religion in peace.
Both men also thank the recovery crews for all their efforts. Searchers are leaving no stone unturned of this 7-mile stretch of Short Creek.
I know there will be an effort at least going on tomorrow and possibly into the weekend.
Roads and washes are still muddy with plenty of debris and standing water. The mayor of Hildale closed out a news conference saying, as you can see, we've got plenty of work ahead of us. For now, reporting in Colorado City, Alana Brophy, Good for Utah.